Okay, guys, so this is the second video in the five-part series. You can really watch any of the five videos in any order. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But just so everybody knows, there are five videos in this series, and this one is going to be on Topwater Hardbaits. My top five in this category is kind of larger because the category consists of not just walking baits, but poppers and prop baits and stuff like that too. Even though there really aren't a lot of prop baits out there, and most people tend to use walking baits over poppers and stuff like that. But it's a very, very large category. If you were to go to Tackle Warehouse and look up Topwater Hardbaits on there, you would see it's probably the biggest category of lures that they have as far as hard baits are concerned. So with that being said, I'm going to start from 5 and work my way down to number 1. It was a little difficult to try to decide where they were as far as my top 5 were concerned, and what was 5 and what was 2 and what was 3 and all that stuff. But as far as choosing what the 5 were, that was fairly easy for me. So my number 5 is going to be a Rebel Popper, or Pop R, I should say. This design is, if you look at poppers, you go to Tackle Warehouse and you look up poppers on Tackle Warehouse, you'll see that they have many different styles of poppers, but probably the most copied style is this style of popper here with the style of cup on the mouth here, and the way that it kind of tapers to the back like that, and it kind of looks like a cone, I guess. But that style has caught a lot of fish for me, and this popper, or Pop R, I guess, it only costs like $4, so it's very inexpensive. The problem with it is that it comes with really junky terminal tackle. I mean, the terminal tackle on it is it's really horrible. You can bend the hooks with your fingers by pressing down on them and stuff. So by buying a Pop R for $4, the way I look at it is it affords me the opportunity to replace the terminal with better terminal. Like I've got owner stingers on here, and I've put and I retied them with bucktail and flashaboo and stuff like that. So these really do work well. They have I think they have a really nice sound to them. That free floating ball bearing that's in there just knocks all over the place, and when you pop that on the surface, I mean, that's exactly what it sounds like on the surface when you're popping it around, and it drives the fish nuts, especially when you find the cadence that they want. This is a really good popper, and by the time you end up spending the money on different hooks and stuff like that, you're probably in it about $8 or something like that. I mean, you don't buy hooks by 2, you buy hooks by like 6 or 5 or whatever else. So I mean, when you buy a package of hooks, I mean, you're gonna have more. You're gonna have some left over, but it averages out to about like $7 or $8 or something like that to redo a Pop R to where you can actually count on it to hold on to a fish and have the hooks not straighten out on you. But this is a really, really good lure, and even for the price tag of $4 bumped up to $8, it's still a really good buy. They're very available. They've been around forever. Everybody knows a Pop R. You can find them just about everywhere. If you have a Walmart, they got them there. So really nice lure here. The next one is, I'm going to show you guys another popper. This is the Don Iovino Splash It 2. The Splash It 2 is the larger of the two poppers that they have in their lineup, and I like this bigger one here. I don't know about the hooks. The hooks seem like they're okay, but I don't really dig on how they're chrome like this, at least on this one. But it has such a great sound. They're really expensive. They're like $13. $13 for a popper is really expensive. But compared to a Rico or a Rio Rico, which is like $22, which is another great lure, which was the one that I was thinking about putting at my number 4, but I couldn't justify. I can't justify paying $22 for a lure when I feel like, and people will argue with me on this one, but like I said in my frog video, that this is very subjective. These are more my opinions, and they're not. They're not facts, and it's not objective. But I feel like this lure, to me, for the amount of money that you pay, is more bang for your buck, I guess. The Rio Rico may be better, but I get more out of this lure than I can get out of the Rio Rico. And I don't feel like quitting fishing if I were to lose one of these out on the water, or lose one to a fish, as I would if I were to lose a Rico out to a fish. I would feel like I wanted to quit fishing, because those things are $22, and you don't want to lose a little popper to a bass. But the point is that it's got great sound. It's very loud, especially out on the water. I don't know if the audio on the video is going to make it, is going to justify the sound, but that popping sound and that resonance that it has inside the chamber is really, really nice. And I really like how on the bottom of these poppers, how they put like this really texturized glitter on the bottom of it. I think that just adds to the overall effect on it, and that just tells me that they're really paying attention to the details, and they're paying attention to what matters to the fish, because mainly what the fish are going to see is this bottom part, and they're really trying to exploit that part of the lure, and I really like that. And the finishes on these lures are nice. They're very, very nice. Well worth the $12 price tag that they have on them. The Don Ivino Splash It 2. This is a really, really nice lure, guys. Definitely try them if you guys haven't. It's a great lure. My number 3 is the Reaction Innovations Vixen. This is a wonderful lure, and I would say that first of all, I think that the colors that they have on these Vixens are awesome, especially this color. I think this is like Flitter Shad or Glitter Shad or something like that. I think it's great. I love the way that this thing looks. They really did a nice job taking care of the finishes on these lures. They're a little expensive. They're like $17, but they have a fantastic sound on them. You can hear that really dense sidewall material of the plastic on these baits. Exceptional lures. The way that they walk in the water and that popping sound that they make, because that's what it's going to do in the water. It's going to pop, pop, pop. That sound, that resonance that it makes is just unbelievable when it's in the water. There are a lot of copies, and I don't know who copied who, what came first or whatever. This is the one that I like the best, but there are many other ones that are similar to this. You have like the Paycheck Baits one, the Repo Man, which is another really good one if it didn't take on water, but this one is a very similar one, if not exactly the same. This is the Rover by River to Sea, another similar one, not as high a quality, but another similar one, very less expensive, not as nice as the Reaction Innovations, but still a nice one. Here's a newer one. This is the Rambler by Demiki. This is another one. Again, not as nice. The sound isn't as good. The finishes are pretty decent on these ones, but again, for me, for what I like, my personal subjectiveness, I guess, to this is I like this one the best. I think that this one is a really, really nice one, and for me, it's the best one out of all the ones that are out there on the market as far as the walking ones that look like this style. Has the best sound, has the best casting, has the best finishes. I'll pay $17 all day long for them because they work, they look nice, and they hold up. They don't take on water. So this is a good lure. Let's see, the next one shouldn't come as a surprise to you guys. It's a Gunfish by Lucky Craft, and this is the Gunfish. I think it's the 115. They have a Gunfish 95, and then either a 110 or a 115. I can't remember which one this one is. And then they have like a 135, which is the big one. So this is like the middle one. But I really, really like these things. These things cause so much disturbance on top of the water. It is a walking bait, but it's got that cupped mouth on it. So much disturbance on the top of the water. It's amazing. These things just bubble up on the front of it, and they throw water probably 1 or 2 feet when you're splashing it along. I mean, it's amazing. If they're on that disturbance type of bite, these things are amazing, guys. They don't have as good a sound as the Reaction Innovations, but what they lack in sound, they make up for in action on the front of the mouth there. These things are wonderful, and you get the Lucky Craft brand, which is you get that peace of mind of knowing that you get nice finishes and good construction. So a very, very good lure here. These Gunfish, probably one of my favorite lures to use of all time out of any lure that I have, out of all of them. is probably a Gunfish in the 115 or 110. I don't remember what size it is, but really, really nice lure there, you guys. If you've never tried a Gunfish, definitely try them out. I mean, there's a couple copies out there on the market, but none of them are like that. I mean, that thing's awesome. And the number one, hands down, without a doubt, my favorite topwater lure to use is a Spook. Now, there are many different Spooks. Probably my favorite one to use is a Super Spook Junior, and this is probably my favorite Spook to use right here in this speckled trout color. It's a saltwater one. I had to replace the hooks on it with some, these are either Gamakatsu, yeah, these ones are actually Gamakatsus. But very inexpensive. You can find them everywhere. They've got buku amounts of colors on them, but they've got a great sound. They cast, I mean, like a rocket. I mean, if you guys want to find out how far you can cast a lure or your longest casting lure, grab a Spook out of your box because they're so aerodynamic and they cast far out there. There's like nothing to the shape. I mean, they call them cigar-shaped walkers. They look like a cigar. I mean, there's nothing to the shape of this lure, but it's very, very effective. It's got a good sound to it when it's out on the water. That's all you hear when that thing's walking out there. And I've had fish pull the hell out of these things on the water. These things go flying up in the air like 1 or 2 feet when they can't get them. It's amazing. But I say Spook and not specifically the Super Spook Junior because, you know, you've got Super Spooks. You've got, like, this one is the Rattling Spook, which is really cool. This is a newer one. And I didn't even have to replace the hooks on these ones. These came with like Mustad triple grip hooks on them. But these are Spooks in any variation. Chugging Spook, Super Spook Junior, Zara Spook, whatever. They all work really well. They're very available. They've been around forever. They're cheap. A lot of the Spooks you'll probably end up wanting to replace some of the hooks on them. Some of you will, some of you won't. It really doesn't matter. But if you were to want to replace the hooks, you're still under $10 for a really, really tried and true lure. It's a great lure. So if you guys haven't tried any of these lures and you guys want to try something different, any of these lures, I think you guys would be very, very impressed with. These are very high quality lures, and they have proven for me to catch all kinds of fish. More importantly, big fish, but they catch fish. Plain and simple. So if you guys like the video, please hit the like button down here in the lower left corner. You guys have any questions, you can comment down below, or you can hit me up on Facebook. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. I don't know which one I'm going to do next, but check around because, like I said, there's 5 of these videos, so check them out.